What's good, party people? This is Voodoo in the Woods. I'm according to Woods, and I have former U of MMA champion Pius Lobo, better known as Voodoo Maximus.
Thank you,
There you go.
champ. Thank you, champ. Thank you. Thank you for that. Wonderful. And that's according to Woods right there, man. 8 man.
Hey,
8 a day. 8 a day Woods. Eight a
yeah.
day Woods. That's right.
Hey, man. It's something. I don't know if I'm a gimmick yet, but I don't know. I don't know. But obviously, UFC Vegas 22 happened last night as we are shooting the show here. And holy fuck, man. This had almost no buzz. And this is probably one of the better cards, if not the best card, top to bottom, that the UFC has produced in 2021, for my estimation, especially if, you look at it in the Richter scale of the casual fan. Do you have finishes? Do you have less ground fighting, right? Do you have like names that you might know, but they look interesting if you're flipping through the channels? This had all of it, right? Hell, we even started the broadcast with the fact that one of the fights on the card, right? One of the fights in the card essentially got scrapped, and that one was the Gregor Gillespie Brad Riddell match. So we went from 11 fights going into this damn thing. Obviously, the loss of Julia Avila and the battle of the Julias, essentially, when Stoliarenko weighed in, fainted. They waited. It was weird. It was like a weird stage mom's thing. Like, come on, honey, you can do that. They put her ass back on there, and she fell down again. I don't know, man. It gets really weird. I hate weight cutting. I don't think that. And again, I'm not a fighter. Never been. Right? I've had corona weight 5 years before coronavirus actually happened. So take that as it may. But weight cutting is stupid. Why are we doing this? Because I think it's this augmented kind of deal from that got borrowed over from boxing or amateur and Greco-Roman wrestling. Because why do we need it? Right? If you're having a 185-pound fight or whatever weight agreement, whatever, and you step in the cage and you're not that, is it really a 185-pound weight division title, what have you? No. So what are we doing? People are killing themselves, and how somebody's gonna die. That's I hate to usher a eerie foreboding, but that's what I feel is going to happen. Somebody's going to die, and then they're going to go like, oh, we should stop this. This is stupid. Because, again, you do all of the crazy stuff that you go and get ready for a fight and all that jazz, and then you're going to kill your kidneys just to get your head knocked off. And, the thing about it is when, the rehydration of your body after, starving it for so much, and then you rehydrate it so fast, well, guess what? You're susceptible. Like your chin is susceptible for taking knockouts. So, honest to goodness, you guys and gals might have made weight, but you didn't get the best version of that person, of your opponent on that night. So, can you really hold your arms in victory and tell them we're not doing another rematch or whatever? And why should we have a rematch when we have a definitive ending? Like, if it's a finish, here we go. We don't need to know. If it's a close decision, I get it. But if it's a boring close decision, why do we need this fight? Right? So it's all weird. But yeah, so we had the Battle of the Julia Swallow literally 24 hours prior to the card, and then we had Gregor Gillespie, the co-main event of Gregor Gillespie and Brad Riddell, that got taken off. right?
Mhm.
And we didn't even get through a damn promo package because the eerie foreboding that was this night and all of the fights that got pulled from what was supposed to be this full on card. I remember I made my Tapology picks this time last week, and the three fights fell off. Like three fights fell off within a week, right? So, with that all being said, here we are. We have a fight. Well, but again, we didn't we got to like one commercial, one promo package, and then we got told the co-main event of next week, not just this week, but next week's UFC card, a title bout with Alexander Volkanovski and one Brian T City Ortega that got pulled due to somebody testing positive for COVID on Volkanovski's side. So we lost in a matter of 1 30-second promo package 2 co-main events in consecutive weeks.
Indeed, indeed. And to touch on the comment you made about the weight cutting, Terrion Flash Ware had a very simple strategy to fix this problem. He said, just move everybody up one weight class. Just move everyone up one weight class.
Mm-hmm.
And then you don't have this problem anymore. And I see no problem with that. Move everyone up one weight class.
Yeah, I like it. I like it.
I like it too.
Yeah.
And they won't have I mean, you will still be facing the same people. Only now everyone will be well hydrated.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
I
don't see
mean,
a problem with it.
that's one kind of answer to the scenario. Another is a weight class at every 10 pounds. That is it, but a lot of people draw comparisons to boxing, where we have I think Sensia Super Bad won literally like the super nothing weight championship. It was weird. Like over the weekend, shout out to Big Serge Estrada, the cut man for Sensia, and the championship win of Sensia Super Bad. But I mean, I think the title that she won was like Super Neverweight, or like it felt like almost New Japan-esque, where we have a never open weight champion, which is kind of like a paradox or whatever. But a lot of people say like, oh, we're gonna get a super welterweight or whatever. I got no, you could call it something else. And I don't like the super or the junior of a said whatever. You have your set weight classes and you just create it. Like, oh, cruiserweight, oh, whatever. Like you just make it up. I mean, it's not like the UFC doesn't know how to make things up. They've done it their entire career. So why not? I don't know.
It seems like they're not interested in anything that's gonna cost them money. And so they're not willing to change. Just like the glove situation. For them to change the gloves, they will have to pay for
Trevor Whitman.
Trevor Whitman. They
Mm-hmm.
want to buy it outright. They want to buy it out, but he's like, nah, man, this is my business. This is my business. I don't want
Yeah.
to sell it to you. I'll partner with you and I'll do business with you, but I don't want to sell you my product.
Yeah.
So it all boils down to money and income. In the end, it's all money. It's all about the mighty dollar.
Who'd have thought that Ted DiBiase would be right in terms of MMA? It's money, 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 money. Bum, 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 bum. Yeah, man.
Everybody's got a price for the
Everyone's
$1.
got a price. Now, one thing that definitely had a price was the Bay's name, and it's spelled out Bays. That's why I thought, in our previous show, kind of previewing this card, I was like, he should be Best Buy rather than whatever convoluted name, but it's Bays because he's South African. Kudos, right? And there was a big buildup of him and his wife essentially being the second couple to basically make their debut in the UFC on the same card. But none of that mattered because Bruno Silva beat the shit out of JP Bays. I mean,
Bruno Silva.
yeah, Bruno Silva. Let's talk
Bruno
about that
Silva.
guy.
Bruno Silva went in there and he said, "Ain't gonna be no jujitsu tonight. I'm going in here and I'm gonna step to you with my hands and feet, and let's see what you got. Let's see if you can handle this." And they went toe to toe. Bruno brought the fight to him. He kicked him in the nuts a couple of times. You know what I mean? Poked him in the eye. But eventually, Bruno was able to land that hand on the chin, drop him, go after him while he was on the ground. Somehow, JP ain't buying nothing, was able to get to his feet, and he still took some damage until he was dropped again, and the referee came in and saved him. He's got heart. JP Bays, he's got heart, but it just wasn't his night against Mr. Bruno Silva. Shout out to Bruno Silva touching him up like that. You know what I mean? I like to see fights like that. Yeah, I understand you're Brazilian jiu-jitsu, but you won in a different manner. You know what I mean? This is what we're looking for in mixed martial arts. We don't want to see the Khabibin people. You know what I mean? We don't want to see the Khabibin. I'm tired of the Khabibin, the Khabibinator. I don't want to see that. I want to see different things. I want to see variety. I'm tired of 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 toast every day for breakfast. Toast, toast, toast. Can I have some cereal? Can I have some eggs? Can I have some? Can I have variety? Huh? Can I have variety? Why I gotta be a Dagestani handcuff every single time? I'm tired of the
Yep.
Dagestani handcuff. Please, can I get something else, please? And thank you for retiring, Khabib. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That happened. So I mean, we're gonna get some interesting matchups, I think, but you know, we will see. We will see. And I love that you mentioned about Mr. Bays, right? Because he did get rocked. I remember the commentary. We were just like, "Oh my gosh, is this really happening? Oh my gosh, whatever." And he gets the seat after an onslaught of punches, and then he gets fucked up again. They're like, it was almost like it was the wave. It was like, hey, oh,
And
fucking hell.
in between all that, he was like taking shots and talking to the referee at the same time. Like I was like, what? You better watch yourself. You better keep getting smashed. He's over there trying to talk to the referee while he's
Yeah,
getting beat down. I was like, all right,
yeah,
have it your way.
yeah. That shit was Burger King AF. My goodness, And our good friend Don McGuire of the Fighter's Voice says Voodoo with the echo effect. Ooh, right on. He's
What's up,
amping
Don?
his production quality. There you go. And he says, "Leave my Habib alone. A W is a W only." Oh, I'm gonna leave Habib the well of fuck alone. Again, once you say you're retired, I'm done. We're good. We're
Get him
moving
out of
on.
here.
We're moving on. We're moving on. So,
Get
you know,
Khabib out of here.
which it's funny because we're gonna get somebody later in the card might be associated with a fight of Bays' wife that literally said that she has the style of Habib. That's what she said. It's not what we saw. But moving on, this one was a heartbreak. We had Montel Jackson against a friend of the show, Jesse Strader, and Montel Jackson just KO'd our friend. That was not fun to watch.
Yes, it was a quite a downer. However, Jesse has since come on and says he's actually pretty well. He's doing pretty well, and he's looking forward to his return. He took his fights on 6 days' notice or something ridiculous like that. So I'm sure the company will appreciate him stepping in and saving the fight the way
Yeah,
he did, and they will give him his fair due, his fair chance at a 6-week camp to prepare for a match. But Montel Jackson, he answered.
yeah,
He handled the situation quite well. Of the situation, he was well prepared for a fight. Jesse was not. Uh, he went in there. He knew because Jesse was coming in on short notice that if he brought a lot of pressure, that the fact that Jesse was making his debut at the same time, everything happened too quickly for Jesse. It came too soon. Like All of a sudden, he was in the ring. All of a sudden, the fire started. All of a sudden, this guy is coming at him like with such ferocity, and all of a sudden, it's over. It happened so quickly. Now he's gonna go back and he's gonna go back to the drawing board. He's gonna see, find a way to slow things down. I mean, I liked how he started. He started with the leg kicks, but then Montel, the hand speed on Montel made a huge, huge impact on the match. It made a huge impact, and he was able to touch Jesse. You know what I mean? He touched him. Once he touched him, it was hard to recover from that. He touched him pretty good. He touched him pretty good, and he brought the ferocity, man. He brought the hands, and Jesse couldn't recover. So it's all good. He'll be back.
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, he's worked so hard to get to this echelon, so hopefully the sun doesn't go down on him. Wait, that didn't sound right. It sounded good in my head. I was going to quote an Elton John song, but it didn't sound right. So we're going to move on. We're going to move on to the very first decision of the night. We had Trevin Giles go over Roman Dolidze of Georgia. This is all Giles. I mean, Roman, touched him up a little bit, I believe. Kind of made Trevin bleed just a bit. But it was all Trevin. This is a unanimous
Um,
decision. What did you think?
mhm. I mean, it went exactly as we anticipated. Roman was a perfect fighter at 8-0 coming into this match. But one thing that we had to take into account was he was a lightweight. He was 8-0 at lightweight. He went up
Mm-hmm.
185 to take on Trevin Giles.
Mm-hmm.
I believe it was a short notice fight. Trevin Giles understanding that he's got the advantage because he's got the size advantage. One, two, he's prepared to fight at 185. His Roman was not. Roman is a 155er. It's something that happens to the body when when you fight a certain weight and then you fight a different weight. The body doesn't quite recognize the change. So when he's demanding of his body, even though he's got more what do you call it? Uh, he's more hydrated. It still
Mm-hmm.
didn't matter. It still didn't matter. I mean, he tried, but he really quickly realized that Trevin's hand speed and power was significant. So immediately he abandoned striking with Tevin, which is very smart, and he went to the grappling. He grappled him. He tried to hold him down, and he did all he could. But Trevin Giles was just too much for him on this particular night, and I'm not mad at the referee's decision. I mean, the judge's decision. They made the right choice by picking Trevin Giles to win this particular match because he was very devastating in his assault.
Yes, he was. Yes, he was. Now, Don McGuire has kind of an assessment here. He says the UFC is so watered down, not knocking the fighters, but this card just didn't enthuse me at all. And yeah, and that's what I was trying to figure out. What was up with this card? Because we had, if you wanted firepower, there was firepower. Probably more so firepower than three title fights as previously advertised in a former UFC pay per view. Um, might actually be more firepower than next week's pay per view. But there was absolutely no buzz, and I don't know what it is. And my heart goes out to everybody that literally shed blood and tears and everything like that for this fight, uh, because there was absolutely no buzz. And he says
Yeah.
the Renault was dope. Yes, the Renault was dope. I like that.
Yes, the
Yeah.
Renault was dope. I can't wait to get to that one.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. But I mean, before we move on, the first fight or the performance of the night went to Bruno Silva over in his KO of JP Bates. So that was the very first performance of the
Hmm.
night bonus. So we're moving up in the card. We had Grant Dawson, which again, this is probably the second $50,000 bonus, right? We had Grant
Hmm.
Dawson
Hmm.
beating Leandro Santos, and this one was
Yes.
up and down. But I mean, Dawson showed why he's dang near undefeated. 18
Hmm.
fights,
Hmm.
only one loss.
Hmm.
Grant Dawson is here to stay. He KOs slash hammer fisted Leandro Santos' face to the mat, earning himself an extra $50,000 for his
Hmm.
trouble.
Hmm.
What did you think?
Well, Grant Dawson, tough as nails, tough as nails. He took a lot of shots. He got beat up pretty good, but he didn't quit. It almost seemed like every round his cardio got better. The more he got beat or beat on, the better his cardio became. And it was quite clear. Leandro, every round was fainting or dropping, and Grant was actually rising. At some point, Leandro was able to secure an attempt on a heel hook, but
Mm-hmm.
Grant Dawson was standing up, and Santos, I don't know. This is one thing I don't really particularly like about jujitsu. Uh, the jujitsu practitioners they tend to get too comfortable on their back. Like
Mm-hmm.
I understand he's tired, but come on, man. Like the guy can punch you. I mean, you're not going to accommodate that. You're not going to make sure. I didn't understand that because while he was there jujitsuing, he forgot that he was in an MMA match. And
Mm-hmm.
Grant dropped a couple of bombs on him. The first one didn't rock him. The second one rocked him. The third one shook him. It shook the mouthpiece out of his mouth. And
Yep.
then the last one knocked the mouthpiece clean out of his
Clear
mouth,
out.
sent him flying into the rafters. Grant Dawson, the man is a formidable opponent. Uh, if he is to rise into the top 15, he's gonna have to figure something out in regards to that striking. But in regards to heart and cardio, he's already set, man. He can match any champion in regards to heart and cardio, but he needs more weapons. Grappling is not gonna be enough for him. He's a phenomenal grappler, which is
Right.
why he never got finished by Leandro Santos.
Yep.
But he's got to figure something out in regards to his striking. I mean, he threw some front kicks, which were pretty nice. I like this front kicks, but not enough. He needs combinations of striking. Without that, he's going nowhere.
No. Well, Don McGuire says I've known him since the beginning of his career and photographed most of it. He will be a star out of Glory MMA under James Krause, and
Yeah.
Grant is a prodigy.
Yes, he's a grappling prodigy. He is a grappling prodigy. See, now what he needs to understand is he doesn't want to be stuck in flow state. This industry is moving towards free flow. Being stuck in flow state is being stuck in the 90s and the early 2000s. We're moving on into the 2022s, 23s, 24, and so on. And to prosper in the next few years, you're going to have the ability to access free flow. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Because when he runs into someone who has very good hips and can shut down those takedown attempts, then what's he gonna do? Then
Call
what's he gonna do?
Ghostbusters.
He's
Call
he
Ghostbusters.
better call Ghostbusters because he's gonna take a beat down, a beating. I mean, Leandros was winning this fight up until the point he got knocked out. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So he's got a lot of work to do. But yes, he is a grappling prodigy. I will give you that, Mr. McGuire.
Yeah. Yeah. He says wrestler. He is actually an instructor at Glory, so he's actually that's where the wrestling comes from. His wrestling pedigree. You know, so
Mm-hmm.
that's pretty impressive. Put a
Yes.
hundred on Grant Dawson, becomes champ. Voodoo.
Yes. Yeah, I would take that challenge. I would take that $100 bet. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I will say this. If he doesn't add to his weapons, he won't be no champion. I can guarantee you that he won't be no champion. Not in the 155. I mean, come on. Come on. Not in the 155-pound division. I mean, what's he gonna do against Charles Oliveira? What's he gonna do? Yeah, that's a bet. That's a bet, Mr. McGuire. What's he gonna do against Charles Oliveira? What's he gonna do against a Chandler? There's too many weapons out there. Too many weapons. I mean, these are complete fighters. He's a phenomenal grappler, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. But all that, I mean, the same way he just knocked out Leandro Santos, who fell asleep doing jujitsu, he himself could fall into his own trap of grappling. You know what I mean? I love grappling. What I do best is grappling, but at the same time, I understand that there's got to be striking involved. You've got to have a balance. You've got to be able to hit high, medium, and low in mixed martial art. If you can't do that, you're not going anywhere. I mean, you'll go far, but you won't hit the top of the mountain.
The top of the mountain, you know. So we will see what becomes of it. But on this night, Grant Dawson nets an extra $50,000 for his troubles. Kudos to
Shout out
him.
to him.
Now, in one matchup that Don McGuire definitely thinks is dope is we had Marion Renault, the Belizean, against Macy Chiasson, the Cajun. This should have been the Belizean versus the Raging Cajun, right? But Macy Chiasson, she beats Marion Renault. Marion Renault did a lot better than a lot of people expected her to, and Macy, it just seemed like she couldn't get it together. Even in a win, even a unanimous decision, it didn't seem like she, you know, you. She is an Ultimate Fighter alumnus and winner, right? But if you put on this type of performance in the top 15, which, oh wait, I mean, Marion Renault, isn't she kind of top 15? She's like number 9,
I believe so.
something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah, yeah. So she's number 9, but even still, like beyond number 9, I mean, could she really theoretically face Amanda Nunes or a Holly Holm at 135? Or like, no, and so she's just there. She's just there to be a fighter, right? Because they asked her, "Do you want to make some?" They fed her a line, right? When the interview wasn't great, they were like, they threw her a line, right, for her to take hook, line, and sinker, and she's just like, "I'm just here to fight, da da da, whatever, whatever," and it just like made no difference. So I'm disappointed in not just Macy Chiason's like performance, because again, against, not to say that Marion Renault isn't top level competition, because she is, but there are higher than Marion Renault, and she's gonna have a hard time. And then the fact that she's just like, I don't I don't know. I don't want to thank anybody. I just want to do the thing. I just want to go and fight. Well, you don't fight well. And, again, you come in with that with Nunes. If you got a title shot, let's say you leapfrog. Let's say everybody in, above Marion Renault except for Amanda Nunes got COVID or something, right? And you get your title shot tomorrow. With where you are now, could you be a formidable competition to Amanda Nunes? No, you're going to get your head knocked off. So you better take a dang what is it? A sponsorship. You might want to try and get your Instagram followers up or what have you, because like if you're banking on just being a fighter, you're going to be broke in 10 years.
Um, you're talking about the champ, and she wouldn't even make it out of the first round against Pena. Pena will mop her up.
Yeah,
Mop her
100%.
up. Pena will beat her in the first round. In the first 5 minutes, Pena beat Macy. Finish. Finish. Submit her. I was very disappointed. Very, very disappointed. Not only did she have youth on her side, she had size on her side, she had height, reach advantage, she had everything on her side. Marion Renault had experience, yes, but she's 43, man. She's 43. One, two, you smashed her face pretty good, and you couldn't get a finish after all that damage you caused. You still
Right.
couldn't get a finish. You're not ready for the upper echelon of the UFC. She's not ready for the top 8. I'm not even gonna say the top 5. She's not ready for the top 8. I'm not even the top 9. She wasn't even ready for Marion Renault. She wasn't even
Yeah,
ready for that.
great.
You know what I mean? She's got a lot of work to do. Her hands are beautiful. I love her hands. When she lets him go, she lets him go crisp.
Yeah,
I like the fact that she doesn't overthrow her punches. She doesn't fall into the punch. She snaps her punches, which is fantastic. But there are no kicks. There are no kicks. There are no calf kicks. I mean, at this point of the game, you're not throwing any calf kicks. No front kicks. No side kicks. No kicks. You know,
yeah,
uh, you're a one trick pony.
yeah,
You're a one trick pony. You know what I mean? Pina, well, it's a walk in the park, man. Easy meal, easy payday, as they say. If they were to put Pina in there against Macy Chiosan will fall easily in the first round. She's got a lot of work to do, man. She is
yeah.
not a complete fighter. Uh, I, I don't even see her accessing flow state.
She
Not to
won't.
talk about
She's
freezing.
paying by numbers. Her strikes,
Mm.
you can tell her, and I'm sure that's where, even in this instance, Marion Renault, even in her loss, her fight IQ was way further than where, I mean, light years ahead of where Macy Chiaosan is, right? And again, you know, Renault is, like you said, 43 years old, and I just don't see it. It's paint by numbers. There isn't anything special there. So if she's hanging her hat on just being a fighter in the UFC, guess what? She'd probably be out of the UFC in 3 years if she doesn't change something drastically.
And
Drastically.
keep your day job.
Yeah, absolutely. Hopefully you got that Shane Carwin engineer ish, that Stipe Miocic's firefighter or something odd, because if you're putting all your eggs on this in one basket and whatever, nah, man, it's not for you. Not, you kind of remind me, of a higher weight division, but of Nico Montano. This kind of reminds me of Nico Montano. Montano won the Ultimate Fighter season, right? Won the championship, whatever, and it unraveled after that, and it kind of reminds me of that. Now, Macy, you have the opportunity to prove me wrong. Please do. I want nothing but to see you ascend to where you want. I was there in the Palms Casino. Actually, I got kicked out for interviewing Tim Means without credentials, but I was in the lobby when you won the title at the Palms Casino back in 2018. So I mean, personally, selfishly, I want you to win championship because I want to be there. I want to live vicariously through you. But you don't give me anything to work with, is what I'm saying.
Yes. Your boxing ain't enough, man. Because once you get taken to the ground, what's your boxing gonna do for you then, huh? What's your
Yeah,
boxing gonna do for you then?
isn't Renault like at least a brown belt, if not black, under Tom Knox in Visalia, Elite Team
Yeah.
Visalia? She's a
Yeah,
high
I mean,
level.
she never quite got the fight to the ground,
Yeah,
but she stood. She stood where Macy is strongest. She
yeah,
fought the fight where Macy is strongest, and Macy
yeah.
still didn't get the finish, which was extremely disappointing.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So there's that, and Betch Correa only won over Reneo because it was a decision in Brazil. Don't let it go to the judges, especially in
No,
Brazil. If you're a
no.
foreign, yeah, and that's anything. If you go to Kansas, right, and you're fighting a Glory MMA person, whatever, you better knock that motherfucker out. You better submit them. Like if you go into foreign territory, do you watch Rocky, bro? Like, do you watch Rocky, sis? Like, don't go into foreign lands and expect to win a decision. That ain't gonna happen. And then belly ache. Why? No, you fucking knock a motherfucker out or get the fuck out. That's
That's
it.
right.
And Don McGuire says in regards to Grant Dawson, he is under one of the greatest coaches coming up in Kraus, brother. I see him and I shot him in the gym. Photographed. I want to say photographed him in the gym. This kid is young and just getting warmed up. Hope so.
Yes,
Hope so.
yes.
Because
I, I, I like what he's been doing. The product that he's been turning out in regards to fighters have been quite impressive. One thing that I see in every last one of them is heart. They've got heart and very good condition, you know. So they've got something over there in their gym that's turning out excellent fighters. So keep up the good work, James Cross. We got our eyes on you, and we'll be studying you for the time that comes.
Absolutely. Now, as we head into the main card, we had Harry Hunsucker, a two-time HRMMA champion out there, I believe in Tennessee, right? And he faced Australia's Tai Tuivasa. And speaking of eyes going all ways, Harry Hunsucker's eyes probably went always. Like, I mean, he was probably one of those little furry things with the warbly eyes and everything like that. Because Tai Tuivasa came in and KOs him in 49 seconds. This was,
Yes.
I mean, again, it's so funny because we thought that we would have an era, post Brock Lesnar, post Frank Jake, post Randy Couture, these, hell, Fabricio Werdum, right? Like all of these, we're in times where you get like these high level wrestlers, right? High level grapplers, even in the heavyweight division. Just because you see a heavyweight fight doesn't mean you're going to get one dimensional striking. But Taiti Uvasa, just like Curtis Blades before, I mean, not Curtis Blades, but fucking Derek Lewis before him, right? Proves that, fuck, one dimensional striking with a little bit of cardio and takedowns can fucking get it done, right? Taito Ivasa, going into last year, he found himself away from the UFC, like didn't even get the fight. They realized, oh, we fucked up. We canceled the Shui guy. Fuck that. Let's bring him back. So this is his second fight back in the UFC and his second straight KO. He just fucking knocks motherfuckers out. And the Hurricane, Harry Hunsucker, was just the guy tonight. He made his. I hope he didn't say, "Hey, ma, look at me. I'm going to be on TV," because that TV time wasn't even fucking 15 minutes.
Yes. Tui Tuivasa, Tai Tuivasa. I mean, Tui Tuivasa, Tai Tuivasa.
Which is probably his cousin, in all honesty. $10 says Taiti Vasa has a Tui, a uncle or a cousin Tui. Fuck, I have one. I'm Fijian. I have an Uncle Tui. So don't trip. Don't trip. But go ahead.
Tai Tuivasa, he spent this training camp in Abu Dhabi, and what we know about the Abu Dhabi folks is they invest in well-rounded individuals, right?
I
So
thought
he
you just said
trained over
well
there.
round, just wells. Like Abu Dhabi wells and shit like that. I don't even think they're mining gold. I mean, I don't think they're even mining oil. I just think gold just comes out the fucking desert, and they found it. Like fucking what is it, Aladdin and the Scarab and shit like that. Fucking that's I don't know. The fucking river of gold. Billy Joel talked about river of dreams. They fucking just got gold in the middle of the fucking desert there. So yeah,
Hey, so not only can Ty box pretty well, he spent a lot of time, improving his kickboxing in Abu Dhabi. So upon entering his fight against Harry Hunsucker, he immediately initiated a calf kick. He dropped out two calf kick, and I could see that those two kicks immediately made an impact on his opponent Harry. And Harry tried to counter with his with his 4-3 hooks that he threw. The first ones that he threw were quite nice. He landed it, but then Ty was like, oh, "Okay, I know how to get you to initiate." So he threw another leg kick, and Harry kind of stumbled a bit, just a tiny bit, just enough for Ty to understand. Okay, I got him. So Ty moved in with the hands, and he was able to land on the chin, and that was it. He put him out.
yeah, yeah, man. So Ty not picking up the $50,000 in this particular instance, but fuck, man. I mean, what can you say? So shout out to Ty. don't drink a fucking shoey and shit like that. You setting our fucking island people back like 100 years. People already fucking think we fucking drink out of shoes and shit like that and spit in it. You motherfucker, get your shit together. You're better than this, Ty. So just get it together, dude. Just get it together. That's what I'm saying. You know? Yeah. So we had the third recipient of a performance of the night bonus in Adrian Yanez's KO of former Combate Americas champion Gustavo Lopez. This one again, one of my friends got knocked out. Not feeling great about this, you know. But then again, you know, if you were ever around Gustavo around the time, even before he won the Combate Americas championship, you know, there's a fine line about like having confidence and being cocky, and Gustavo, love him to death, but he borders on that, right? Where you know he just walk around, and you know, if you're a champion, you should display your championship. You know, you should put it on a pedestal and you know walk into the room with your championship slung over your shoulder or wearing it. I love that part, but you know I almost feel like with the level of being a kingpin of another organization, like he, even though he trains at Extreme Couture with a lot of you know prominent mixed martial artists, and obviously that is the gym of the great Randy the Natural Couture, right? That's where it bears its name. But for some reason, I just think that he can't he can't get it together, that he's not like he's like the bottom on the totem pole, and the only person that he beat in this kind of instance of UFC, you know, contention was his best friend. So like your best friend gave you like the rub, you know, and you thought of your best friend, but when you get to like the upper echelon, you know, it doesn't work out, and this is just another instance of it.
This particular matchup, Gustavo's primary source winning this particular match would have been his grappling, and he did not initiate grappling at all. He felt that his striking was up to par, and he was going to stand with Adrian Yanez, and he thought wrong. That's pretty much it. Adrian Yanez, crisp striker. When we talk about those kids that grew up in the gym, in an MMA gym, Adrian Yanez is one of those kids. He learned everything all at once. However, there's something about his hand speed that's different. You know, there's something about his hand speed that's different. The choices of kicks that he chooses to kick, to throw, the kid is special. Adrian Yanez,
Mm-hmm.
I've seen before. I've seen him before, but I've forgotten about him.
LFA.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I actually saw him in the UFC. I didn't know him in LFA. I saw him in the
Okay.
UFC. I've seen him fight in the UFC before, but I forgot. It's been a while, but I forgot. And then when I see him, I was like, hey, I know this kid. I didn't realize that it was the same kid. If I knew that it was that one kid that I knew, I would have picked Adrian Yanez to win this fight easily. Easily. His hand speed is too much. His
Yeah.
kick, he when he kicks, he chooses the right kick at the right time. That's why his kicking is so good. And what I like about him the most in regards to his kicks, he uses that lead leg quite a bit. Quite a bit. I love it. And when I mean, you have to be 50-50 with your kicking. You cannot just throw from the back leg. I mean, the
All right.
front leg is closer to your opponent. The front leg is closer to your opponent, and it's faster. It's underneath. It's coming from underneath. You know, Anderson Silva kicked Vito Belfort, I believe. I think he used the back leg, but it's better to use the front leg. Is where I'm getting at. And
Correct.
and and Adrian Yanez, wow, wow, beautiful striking. Counter striking was on point, and every time he counter strike, he's throwing 3 and 4 hit combinations. And Gustavo Lopez could not. It was like one of that rush hour. Chris Tucker, which one of y'all hit me? He couldn't figure out which shot was hitting him. You know,
Mm-hmm.
every time he got close, every time he came close, he got hit with some serious counterattack. And eventually, man, it was that counterattack that put him out. He threw a left hand, and before the right hand could get there, Adrian Yanez already hit him with like the death touch. You know what I mean? He already hit him like Kenshiro, and that was it. It was over with. You know what I'm saying? It was over with. He ran into the fist of the North Star.
Yeah. Yeah. North Star, Northern Light suplex, all that shit. Yeah. I went and fucking pretend like I knew what the fuck that was a reference to. I fucking don't know. But anyway, yeah. But this one nets Adrian Yanez an extra $50,000 for his knockout.
Oh,
And go,
by the way, I'm sorry to cut you off.
no, go
I
for it.
would love to, I would love to see Giannis versus Royval. Oh,
There you go. Yeah,
Adrian Giannis versus Royval. Oh my God, that will be a beautiful match, man.
yeah,
I'm talking
yeah.
about fight of the night candidate. I'm talking
Oh no,
about
for sure.
the future of our sport. Adrian Yanez, Brandon Royval. These guys are gonna bring striking to its
Hmm.
next peak. When we talk about free flow, these are the dudes that take it to that free flow level.
Yeah, no, 100%, 100%. Which I don't know what type of flow this one was, but we saw the second of the debuting Bays couple when we had Cheyenne Bays against Montserrat Ruiz. Now, just in case you guys forgot, this is what we saw out of one of the competitors of this very match.
Constant pressure, like
My
Khabib.
wrestling style is constant pressure like Habib. That is my
Yeah, right.
advantage. Now, we heard that. We didn't actually hear those words uttered from Montserrat Ruiz's mouth because it was through a translator, which I mean, it made for some interesting programming when she got to the winner's circle and the microphone was on her because it seemed like everything was delayed. It was weird. It was weird. But here's the thing: anybody, and shout out to Rafa Sparsa because we are in the mix of WWE BJJ week on Verbal Tap and Grappling Hour, and I think Montserrat Ruiz is entering her submission. She's like, "Hey, Raf, pick me," because she fucking headlocked fucking Cheyenne Bays so many times. And I don't know what was said in her corner. I wish my Espanol was a little bit better than it is because I don't know what the fuck. Because I want to believe that Montserrat was just her corner was just saying, "Guess what? We're gonna headlock the fuck out of her. Like whatever she does, she punches you, she kicks you, you fucking headlock the shit out of her." That's what I want to believe because if that was the plan, that plan basically got them a decision. I can't even remember. Was it a unanimous? Yes, it was a unanimous. Because why the fuck not was it a unanimous decision? But 3 rounds, 3 headlock, and then something else happened and then fucking get into a headlock. The most action happened after the final bell ring where we had Montserrat spit at Bays saying, "I'm gonna follow you home," right? Like what the god? We had 15 minutes for you guys to fucking duke it out. Y'all want to fucking after the bell want to fucking spit on each other? What the fuck are we doing? What are we doing? I don't know. This is bizarre. This is so weird. Like, catch me outside. You had 15 minutes to catch each other, and it didn't happen. You just got bulldog. Like, you follow her home. What happens? You get fucking fucking headlocked by Montserrat in your fucking driveway in front of your concussed husband who can't do shit because he's concussed. Because he got knocked out in the very first fight. What are we doing? God.
Hey man, she had that headlock for like 13 minutes and a half. The whole
Yeah.
fight was a headlock.
Yeah.
The whole fight was a headlock. And I could not understand why Cheyenne could not get out of that. It's so easy. It's so easy. The opponent, Ruiz, left the door open to. You know what, man? Let's just move on from this, man. It's pissing me off. Please, let's move on.
I
Pissing me off.
can't. But even you remember the fucking promo? Like before the fucking fight card even started, they fucking went 3 minutes in, right, and had 4 minutes on the fucking countdown clock. They played the fucking shit of the bases, and like we complete each other. She is the other me, and me is the other him, and whatever. And they're fucking touch butting in the fucking driveway. Shit. What are we doing? I don't know. What the fuck? Oh. And again, I mean, I don't condone spitting, right? But, like, and then I'll follow you home? Like, what the fuck is gonna happen? That didn't happen in the 15 minutes that millions of fucking people, maybe a low 100,000 people, because nobody was chatting about this fucking card on fucking social media until this fight. Like there was four $50,000 bonuses this night. 3 of them happened before this fight. Nobody started talking shit until Montserrat Ruiz and fucking Cheyenne Bays did whatever the fuck they did, which I thought they might be out of the organization after it.
Hey, it looked like a hair pulling street fight. It looked like one of those things you see in the streets where girls pulling their hairs and stuff like that. There was nothing professional about what I saw, man. Yeah, she's a good grappler.
Headlocker.
Right?
Headlocker. I mean, if there's a footlocker in jiu-jitsu, there deserves to be a fucking headlocker. Ed Strangler Lewis, he actually had a device where it looked like a wooden human head, and you would practice fucking squeezing the fucking thing like that, right? That was Ed Strangler Lewis actually fucking sold it back in the 30s. Like, that was a fucking thing. The ghost of fucking Ed Strangler Lewis would fucking be proud of Montserrat Ruiz because that, like, literally a fucking 100 years later, he gets his fucking wish. I don't know.
I mean, how does Cheyenne Bays not know how to get out from that? I mean,
because she's fucking, her and her concussed husband are fucking doing this shit in the fucking garage and shit. That's why.
How did they both make it to the UFC? That's the question.
Well, Montserrat, she's a Invicta veteran. She is a grappler. Like, I've seen her grapple. On Nick Daly Rivera Kalnak's Instagram page. They've wrestled. She's an Invicta FC veteran, right? And her last win in Invicta in July, she won via key lock. That's a difficult submission to pull off, right? So she knows her shit. She's out of both, King's MMA / 10 Planet Jiu-Jitsu, right? So she knows her shit. We didn't see this in this fight, is what I'm saying, other than fucking headlocks. I just watched Combat Jiu-Jitsu. There wasn't one headlock in the motherfucker. Okay? I don't know, man. What the fuck are we doing? I don't know. But is anybody clamoring to see either one of these gals back in the... And I'm a huge advocate for women's MMA. I do not want to see... I do not want to see either one of them. Honest to God, I don't want to see either one of them. Like, do whatever else. Don't fuck up my MMA, because I think you did. Like, you shit on all of the legit, athletes, especially women's athletes. This is International Women's Day. You fucking spit on one, and the other fucking says, "I will follow you home." That is like the powerful woman that you. What the fuck are you doing, guys? What are we doing? I don't know.
I couldn't call it, man. I couldn't call what that was. I couldn't
I don't
call it.
know.
You know what I mean? And then there was a celebration at the end of that. I couldn't understand what they were celebrating. Like this woman just embarrassed all of us.
Yeah.
Imagine new fans tune in, and that was the fight they tuned into. They would have tuned right back out. Like, what is this? I can watch this on YouTube. Hood fights.
Yeah, which I mean, I gotta, and that's the deal, right? Everybody shits on like BKFC. Everybody shits on like these, fucking backyard brawls and all this shit, right? The street beefs and everything like that. But like, this was street beefs. This was street beefs in the UFC, right? So it's all there. Street beefs, whatever the fuck street beefs is going to be a fucking martial arts 10 years from now. Again, I guarantee you, you look up any of the highest, right? Okay, like, if this is third from the top. This is the fight before the co-main event, right?
Mm-hmm.
You look at the views that this shit got on the UFC's YouTube, and then go float over to street beefs, right? Float out to the fucking Russian dude that fucking pays people to fight. Just puts 4 fucking posts in the thing, fucking garden hose and everything like that. Guarantee you, the street beefs and the fucking Russian dude have 8 times more fucking views than this fucking monstrosity. What are we doing? But just in case you forgot, my wrestling style is constant pressure, like Habib. That is my advantage.
Constant pressure, more like stalling and burning the clock.
Fuck, it worked for Roman Reigns tonight. He retained the title. So, don't know. But guess what? Brian Danielson / Daniel Bryan had better fucking grappling skills than you, Montserrat. This is fact. What are we doing? I don't know. WWE BJJ week. Go ahead and check out Ralph Esparza and to get out more information. But I think that's what it was. They weren't even fucking talking about impressing Dana White in both of their respective. These are both of their debuts. They both debuted. This was their introduction to the UFC audience. The thousands and thousands of people that watch. Maybe 10,000 people watch this fucking thing, start to finish, and we're 2 of them. But that was the introduction. I'm just saying, both of these gals street beefs. Go ahead, sign them. Just saying,
That was whack.
it was whack. But you know what got whacked? One of the recipients in the co-main events of the evening. We had Max Payne Griffin against Keenan Song, and Max brought the fucking pain. I mean, Killing Me Softly with his song? Maybe that's the song that Keenan was singing. He was thinking about Lauryn Hill because maybe in his kind of singing to himself, he gets KO'd by Max Payne Griffin. Max Payne Griffin KOs Keenan Song of China in 2 minutes and 20 seconds of the very first round. And this was the last recipient of the fourth $50,000 bonus that was dispersed amongst the fighters on this card. And again, for a card that didn't have too much luster, too much buzz, too much pizzazz, we had 4 $50,000 bonuses dispersed and awarded, yes. Right? So that's $200,000 in addition to whatever the fighter pay was for this, the contracted fighter pay, right? And to me, honestly, we could have ended here. Like, we didn't need what we got in the fucking main event, whatever. But your take.
I want to apologize to Max Payne Griffin for picking against him. I shouldn't have done that. I should have known better.
Yeah.
Max went in there. He was calculated. He was precise.
Mm-hmm.
He chose his shots properly. and he landed, and that was that. He put the man out in half a round.
No,
That's it. He knocked
that's
he
it.
knocked his block off.
Yeah.
He knocked his block off. You know, Kenan Song was not ready on this night. Perhaps the pressure, the demands of the Chinese government upon his mind was overwhelming. Something happened, or maybe it was just the pain, the Max pain. The pain that Max delivered. When he was getting touched, maybe the pain was so much that it short circuited him, and in the end he had to go to sleep, and that he did.
Yeah. Yeah. So, bye bye Keenan Song. It was fuck, man. Again, you're gonna be waking up with less brain cells than you did Saturday morning that you do today because of that. I don't know what the fuck happened, but yeah, well. So I guess we're here. We are at the main event of the evening, where we had Derek Brunson against Kevin Trailblazer Hollins, right? And this one, the most exciting thing about this fight wasn't the fight itself, it was the color of Brunson's hair and literally fucking Kevin Holland talking shit to no one in particular. You just fucking talking shit, which is kind of the gimmick of one Kevin Holland. But that was it. That was it. Like, did we get an exciting fight? Did like, honest to goodness, right? Derek Brunson's wrestling saved him. That's what it did, all right? Because
Hmm.
that prevented him from Kevin Holland knocking his block off, 1,000%, right?
Yes.
Is Derek Brunson going to be? I mean, wasn't he already like a? No, that's You know what? I confuse OSP and Derek Brunson a lot
Mm.
because that they're interchangeable.
Hmm. Hmm. They're
Same
gatekeepers.
style, yeah. Gatekeepers,
They're
same
gatekeepers.
style, same everything, right?
Hmm.
And again, the most exciting thing about you know Derek Brunson was his hair color. It really wasn't exciting. Like I'm edgy. I'm edgy because I blonded my hair. I colored my hair blonde. Yay! Yay! The fuck, man.
Hey,
This
this
shit was
particular
garbage.
fight, it was kind of garbage. It was kind of garbage, but it was garbage primarily because of Kevin Holland. Kevin Holland was for lack of a better word, the A side in this particular matchup. I'm not talking money wise. I'm talking the one to lead the dance, and he neglected his role in this particular fight. His job was to go in there, stick and move the entire time. The same thing that was tasked to Stylebender, stick and move the entire time. For some reason, he felt being flat-footed was the way to go, and reverting back to the 1990s of toe-to-toe nonsense. He tried it. Derek Brunson wasn't having any of it. Derek Brunson already knows he can strike with this kid. So why stand and bang with him? That would be
Right?
retarded, right? So he immediately
Hey.
initiated the takedown, and he did that for 5 rounds. Kept him down for 5 rounds. And what did Kevin Holland do? Not one thing to get out from underneath. He did not do anything to get out from underneath. Nothing. Now, why didn't he do anything to get off my knees? Because he knew deep down that he didn't have the wrestling prowess, the
Mm-hmm.
jujitsu prowess to get out from underneath that Division two-time champion Derek Bronson. He
Mm-hmm.
couldn't. He couldn't do it. He couldn't do it. He couldn't do it, and he didn't want to try to do it because trying to do it and failing will cost him a whole lot of cardio. So he figured, I'll just hang on until I'm able to get back up and knock him out. But if you're gonna knock him out, throwing a bunch of powerful shots is not the way. You have to be systematic. You have to find the shot. You have to jab. You have to initiate lots of jab, move your feet, change the angle, and then find that kill shot. You can't just throw power shots like an amateur. He behaved like an amateur, you know. The talking, all the talking that you saw, the talking was him trying to convince himself that he wasn't losing the match, trying to convince himself that he still had a chance to win the match. That's what all that talking was. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Derek Brunson from get go did not fall into his trap. He did not feed into that back and forth because this is what people like Kevin Holland, Conor McGregor, what's his name, Stylebender. This is where they get their energy from. They feed off of negative energy. They feed off of it. When if Derek Brunson would have come back with words, then Kevin Holland would have been able to capitalize on that. But since he got nothing, nothing at all, nothing but good old fashioned American wrestling, he had nothing to. He couldn't come back. He had nothing. His striking was nullified with the excellent wrestling. I mean, I do not mind someone utilizing wrestling primarily in a situation like this because it called for it. Wrestling was the perfect remedy to the striking prowess of Kevin Holland, right? But if you wrestle the entire time, even when you can box and you still wrestle, then I have a problem with that. You know what I mean? Like the Khabib effect, I despise that. You know, like this is mixed martial arts, right? Come on, come on, come on. Yes, I understand that the wrestling worked in every situation, but come on. There was some of those people you could have struck with. You could have, you know what I mean? Like the whole thing was boring. Your entire career was boring. Like 29 and 0, but it was boring 29 and 0.
Mm-hmm.
Even GSP stood and struck with some
Yep.
people, and he's boring too. But at least he stood and struck. You know, he took people down when he had to, but primarily he was on his feet, punching, kicking, reverse roundhouse kicks. I mean, he did something, you know. But I tell you what, Islam Makachev, he's a different animal. He's a different beast. He's gonna be special. Islam Makachev is gonna be Makachev. He's going to be special because
Yeah.
I like where he's going with it. He strikes. He strikes. He follows instructions and he does the wrestling when his corner tells him to. But primarily, he goes in and he wants to strike, and I can appreciate that.
Yeah. Yeah, man. So that is it. That fucking hell. It was. I mean, for the finishes that were finishes, it was awesome. We had controversy with Ruiz and Bays, right? We had a couple get kicked, their ass kicked together, because that's what you should. You get your ass kicked together. You know, it's not Tommy Davidson going, Derek, my hand now, Derek. No, you fucking get your ass kicked together. That's a civil thing to do. So, shit, that was UFC Vegas 22. Now, obviously, next week we get yet another fight because we have UFC 260 Stipe Miocic against Francis Ngannou. They're billing this as the biggest, baddest rematch ever. We will see, because we've seen lumbering heavyweights. Curtis Blades and Derek Lewis. Okay, that's how this could go. I don't feel bad. And again, this is the second time in a year that they had 3 title fights, right? They had it with Stylebender and God, who is it? And fuck, I can't even remember Jan Blachowicz. Jan Blachowicz. See, I can't even remember the dude, man. They had a couple other titles and what have you. They had Amanda Nunes, that was one. And then they had, oh, that's it. Guess what? When you were talking about Montserrat Ruiz and I don't know where she got the fucking victory party from, well, guess what? She might have been studying from the playbook of one Aljamain Sterling and all of his homies, because that's exactly what the fuck happened, right? So there we go, right? And we were supposed to have 3 title fights for 260, right? We were supposed to have Ngannou and Miochix. And then we were also supposed to have, yeah, listen to Zhang Wei Li, right? That was supposed to happen. Apparently, that's not happening anymore. So, shit, we'll get into it Thursday. Thursday, we're here. We'll be Voodoo in the Woods, and we'll do that shit. But Voodoo, where can they find you on social media?
Um, YouTube, Voodoo Maximus. Facebook page, Voodoo Maximus. Instagram, Voodoo Maximus. Twitter, Periscope, Voodoo Maximus. All day, every day.
Yes, and you can find me. I'm According to Woods, and I do things like literally everywhere. So According to Woods, everywhere. Facebook, YouTube, Snapchat, all that shit, right? And then, if you haven't already done so, go ahead and like, share, and subscribe to the Voodoo in the Woods podcast on Facebook and YouTube, and you get some cool shit like this. So until next time, we will see you with more Voodoo in the Woods.